What's the most evil thing your sibling did to you? Leaked my nudes to the fappening. Why do they have your nudes? Hol up, something's not right. He hid the last piece of my giant puzzle and finished it while I was looking for it. I laughed. She was dancing and singing in the kitchen and I walked in, so she started attacking me, kicking me and hitting me and shit. She's younger than me and it did plenty hurt, but it was the intent to kill that got me. I'm pushing her away and I end up at the other side of the room. So she grabs a knife and shuts me in the kitchen. She started saying stuff like, "If you come out I'll kill you." I just went out the back door and came back through the front, but still. Just because she was caught doing something embarrassing. Jesus. Do you live in a mental asylum? Nope, just younger siblings are insane, lol. I used to love collecting snails from the neighbor's yard. I had a snail pail that I would collect them in. My brother told me snails love salt. They do not. When I was in primary school, my friend dropped a snail down a drain and this girl saw him do it and freaked out about it. So we got a bunch of snails and dropped them down the drain while she watched, telling her they are gonna end up in the drinking water. We don't know why we did that. We were arguing one morning getting ready for school, and as I was brushing my teeth in the bathroom he yanked the rug out from beneath me and I hit my head on the radiator. Was knocked unconscious. Got a concussion. Needed stitches and have a scar on my face. Ouch. He's an asshole and I hope you are okay. Oh yeah. Thanks for the concern. This was over 20 years ago and he still apologizes about it. And turns out the scar has become a defining feature. It cuts through my eyebrow and makes me look like Scar. Ha. Threw a knife at me. Killed dad's rabbits and he blamed it on me. Stole money and he blamed it on me. Jesus, she is evil. Yes, he's one screwed up kid. Though he's better now. My wife made her younger sister believe for years that they had an older brother who was studying abroad and that their parents missed him so much that they didn't like to talk about him. Kicked me in the balls 1. Kicked me in the balls 2. Electric boogaloo. Kicked in the balls 3. Now it's personal. This is a prequel. We used to have a trampoline. I thought I was safe, but I was wrong. Out he came jumping around pretending he knew karate. When I told him he didn't, he rolled an at 20 plus full boost, bringing me to my knees with pain. Stories may be exaggerated to increase retention. He was climbing on me and was 5. He allegedly accidentally kicked me in the balls, which I still don't believe. They were born. If there's anything they have, it's the ducking audacity to keep breathing. The nerve of some people. Really? Cut their nerves off. It worked for me. Shot me with a BB gun in the leg. He said he wasn't sure he could hit me and had to try. Conclusion: he could hit you. Yes, he did. He recently said he still feels bad about it. Told me I looked ridiculous wearing a wig. I had cancer and lost all my hair because of chemo. Oh crap, I'm sorry. Thanks. I hadn't realized how toxic she was up until then. She's now out of my life. Shot blow darts into my piano lessons book. It really hurt my feelings. I'm gonna remind him of that this weekend. She said she put crumbs in my bed. I put a blanket over the bed and got on it. Then it hurts. Not crumbs. Cacti was in my bed with the spikes all over it. You sure your sister isn't Satan in disguise? Pretty positive she is. My 5-year-old brother threw a license plate at me and nailed me square in the back. Not very evil, but it was like a 10-meter throw. My parents just laughed. Befriended my ex-girlfriends on 3 separate occasions. Also hid my birth certificate so I'd freak out and think I was adopted. Told me to kneel on my hands and knees in front of the toilet so he could demonstrate to his friend or our cousin, I don't remember which, that he could pee over me into the bowl. Turns out he couldn't. I was about 3 and he was about 5. Little bastard came out for me. Talk shit behind my back with my ex-best friend. I'm sorry. That hurts. My brother cut the hair off of some of my dolls. Truly unforgivable. Growing up I only had one Ken doll, and he was one of my favorite dolls. My sister wasn't really into dolls as much as I was, and so I never played with her, and she was also controlling, so I didn't like playing with her. Anyway, she wanted to play with me one day, and I was like, okay, since I never do. That bitch, when I left to get something, ripped the head off of my Barbies, including that Ken doll, and he was the only one I couldn't save. Oh no. I know the pain of your favorite doll having their head ripped off. Only I was the one to blame, because I brushed her hair too hard. Punched me in the stomach for not changing the channel. Then begged me not to tell on him, so I didn't. Next day he tells on me for something, and gets me in trouble. Can't remember what it was for. I just remember the betrayal. Didn't do it to me, but showed my other brother, who was 2, horror videos of zombies. NGL, my mom would show me that stuff, and that's probably why I'm such a monster lover, but she also showed me jump scare videos, which definitely made me scarred. He's forgotten my birthday 3 years in a row now. Even when my parents remind him, he has to practically be forced to say anything to me about it. I have never forgotten his birthday and always get him at least a card. My stepsister makes me watch scary jump scenes because she says my reactions are better than the movies, and puts them on her TikTok. Bit my finger. Is your sibling by any chance named Charlie? My brother once shoved me in a cardboard box and stabbed multiple times in the box with forks, almost hitting me, and then threw it down the stairs when we were younger as fun. Luckily there were loads of clothes and the house was messy, so I took little to no damage. I dared him to smash my Gigapet with his dumbbell and he did. Open bracket. I mean, what did you expect? This is why he did not get in trouble for doing it, lol. Tried beating me to a pulp only 2 weeks ago, and then complained to my mom about how much of an asshole I am. She's almost 16, and I'm 13 and a half. I got pushed down the stairs in a booster seat, cracked my head open, lol. Whacked me on the head with a wooden mallet for hammering tent pegs in. She threw a massive rock at my head when she was 5. She also once left claw marks in my arm. Not be born. Ripped off the cover of my horrible science book, Truly Evil. Hit me in the face with a wooden gorilla. WTF. Never exist. I was playing Halo 4 with my brother when I was about to get an assassination on someone. When my brother sniped the guy I was gonna kill, he said, "You're welcome" afterwards. Not me, but I was at my best friend's house and her siblings were always fighting. One time I saw her younger brother shake their cat super hard and then throw the cat at his sister's head. It was crazy. Lies and sells me out to her parents, even though I'm constantly giving her money and trying to be nice. You should probably stop and stand your ground, or start getting proof that she's wrong. I do, but my mom takes her side no matter what. Peed on me. That seems to be common. That's concerning. My brother tried to kill me 3 times when I was about 3 years old. He gave me shellfish knowing I had an allergy that required a trip to the hospital and an adrenaline shot. Once he threw a chef's knife at me while I ran away. I was running away down a hallway and closing a door behind me as I went through. The knife stuck in the door. Once he held me underwater too long and I had to be pulled from the lake. He belongs in a mental hospital. Cut my ankle with a razor a few years back. Jesus, ow. Hurt like hell. This sounds evil, and I will continue to tell all 3 of my siblings that I'm mad at them until the end of time. But in hindsight it really is funny. We moved about 20 miles to a different small town when I was 4. I'm the youngest of 4 kids, so we were ages 14, 10, 7, and 4. My parents had to get another load of stuff from the old house, so they left us at the new house under the care of the 14-year-old. When I say small town, I mean a really small town. Population 200-ish. So the 4 of us go for a walk to explore all 5 blocks of our new town. We get approximately 2 blocks from home in the business district on Main Street. My siblings then explained to me, in quite a bit of detail, that my parents have instructed them to leave me at the orphanage. I couldn't read, so I had no idea that the orphanage was an antique store. They let me know that our parents going back to the old house was really just a front, so they didn't have to deal with me crying. When I found out, the new house was a 4-bedroom, and since we needed 5 bedrooms for everyone to have their own, and I was the newest addition, I was the one who had to go. I sat on the bench in front of the antique store crying while they walked away. Now, in my memory, I sat there for a very long time. In their memory, they walked around the block and came back for me. I will swear until my dying day that every character flaw I have is a result of the trauma they caused. In reality, it's a great story to tell to convince people that the youngest child is always superior. Sister, I was annoying her while her and my brother were in the car while my mom was in for a job interview. This was a minivan where there's a middle seat and the back seat. Well, I was sitting in the middle of the back seat and she had enough of me and turned around, grabbed the 2 headrests of the middle seat, cocked her leg back, and Spartan kicked me right in the nose. I will never forget this. Lol. Brother was always super destructive of his stuff. We both got Gamma Boy pockets, with his being the green one and mine the red one. Well, he broke his, so he broke mine, so I didn't have one either. Shit stung. He also secretly took all of my Nintendo 64 games, the system and controllers to GameStop, to trade in to get himself a PS2. Pretty sure I cried because I loved all of those old games. Recently got an N64 and games for Christmas, so that was super cool by my mom. When I was 13 and just learning how to play guitar, my older sister, knowing full well that I was utterly terrified of public speaking, said to me, "You know you're going to have to learn to sing too." When I say terrified, I mean stammering, weak knees, falling down terrified. It was not something I could power through at that point in my life. It got into my head. I stopped practicing and gave up. 28 years later, a friend gave me a guitar. I tried what chords I could remember and then marveled at all the free online resources available to students today. Ended up learning to play classical and Spanish style guitar. No singing necessary. Duck you, Sarah. Duck you. Okay, when I was like 5 I made a song that was embarrassing, and at 11 years old we found a video of it, and my brother showed it to everyone who ever came my house. But this shit ended like 5 friendships, and a couple years later he showed it to my girlfriend at the time. But my brother is the ducking devil. It's not me, it's my friend's younger sister. But anyway, while we were at Walmart together, the younger sis pretended to get pushed on the floor by the older one really hard, and then she started crying loudly. She's good at pretending to cry. And then everyone stared at the older one with a dirty look, and she got in trouble with my uncle. She was like, "I did not push her, she fell on purpose, I ran into her on accident." And then on the way home the younger sis threw a book at the older one's face, and the book was hard. Shot me in the shin with a marble and a wrist rocker slingshot. When we were kids, my brother tormented me. He would constantly destroy my dollhouse, break apart my Lego creations, and delete my Super Mario 64 save file. He stole my diary and read it with his friend. He even hacked my Neopets account a few times. I'm still bitter. Tore my Knight Rider stickers off my bunk bed. My brother and I played Pokemon Gold and Silver back in the day. He played Gold, and I played Silver. That was our agreement. However, since our parents bought the games for him, I'm a girl and younger, they were his. This is important. I had caught a shiny Bellsprout in the wild. It was my first ever wild shiny. I loved it, and I was so proud. Y'all who've played the OG games know how much harder it was to get a wild shiny vs how it is now. My brother, I can only assume, because he was feeling mean one day, erased my game without transferring any of my Pokemon out first, including my prized shiny Bellsprout. When I confronted him about it, he only shrugged and said, "It's my game, so I can do whatever I want with it." He had stopped playing Pokemon at this point too, so he had no real reason for it other than being evil. We are both in our mid-late 20s now, and I still haven't forgiven him. Even though the cartridge later broke and got lost in the void, I can't forgive his actions that day. Besides the physical and mental abuse, borrowing my PlayStation 3 with cables, games and everything, just to sell it all for a quick buck a few weeks later. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.